Guys, well, earlier today, Washington announced a transfer that landed sleepy on the Justice just in time for their match against the Los Angeles Valiant earlier today. Now, when you're at the bottom, there's only one direction you can go, and these teams both in desperate need of some momentum. The Valiant, trying to make it 2 of their last 3, continue to climb out of that stage 1 hole against a rather improved Justice team. I would say they're improved.
I mean, there's 2 directions. You go up or you go lateral. You just stay the same. I mean,
well, that's not a direction. That's the same, right?
So what makes me more confident about these terrible teams in 2019 is that they're actually making changes.
Like
oh, come on, they are terrible, or they were terrible at the beginning of the season. But we had to endure Shanghai Dragons last year, right? And they just, the changes they made.
A terrible team.
Yeah, and the changes they made them worse.
It was so bad.
That wasn't entertaining.
I don't think it's fair to compare them to the Dragons.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't think it's fair because Justice and Mayhem are making positive changes in the right direction and continue to improve. Like, just listening to their comms today, it was a world of difference, and they are going to get better.
I actually think the Justice can win a few games to be more competitive in the second half of the year. I think you don't have the. I mean, this one's tough. I mean, you're going against the Valiant, you're like, oh, they're 1-9, but you haven't had any opportunity to put Sleepy in, practice at all. Like, this one's kind of a watch for me. Like,
it's just a watch. That's
I mean, that's kind of what it is.
Not like Valiant was like incredibly better. Valiant played very passive. They kind of just played the clock. They didn't really go out of the way to make big plays or something. They played incredibly safe.
I mean, you do have to give Valiant some props, like in the spot that they're in and where they were last year, and like they've lost some brutal games. Right. Like, when you lose these brutal games, it's easy to come in here and just keep losing games. I mean, we saw it 40 times in a row last year. I mean, it's kind of easy. So
it's also
give
wild.
props for showing up. Beat the teams they're supposed to be.
It's wild they haven't made any changes, and yet they're starting to get a bit better as well.
Their season last year, they stunk for a bit, and then they made all those changes, and they became good.
Yeah, but they're not making any changes right now.
Well, you know what's very interesting is at the beginning of this season, they didn't look too bad. They were losing those games very close. And I think as they continue to accumulate those losses, they started to pretty much mentally boom, as you would say, sideshow. So now that they've got 2 out of 3 wins, they look a little better.